There's something about the color of this light. I feel like I'm posing for my 1970s country music album. Let me zoom in a little bit so that we don't see the top border of the background. Hello, how are we doing? Hello, happy Saturday night. I hope everybody's doing well. What do we think about this look? Look at these cute, aren't they gorgeous? These are the Phase It strawberry makeup patches. They do the like face freckles, but these are just like a fun little just a fun little thing that they do. And I think they've done a couple other versions of these, but I just have the strawberries. And so I decided I was putting together a look. So I filmed a Get Ratchet with Me tonight because I've been waiting to do this for a while. So hello, Mama Champagne. Hello, Reese. How are you doing? Hello to both of you. Top messages, all messages. Okay, there we go. Hello, Dion. Hello, hello. So I love to do like fun for a Get Ratchet with Me. I do like sometimes having a planned out look, but sometimes I like to randomize it. And so I like to do it based on fun, random toys. And so a long time ago, I filmed an intro where Angie and I, we did a color reveal Barbie. So this is the color reveal Barbie. So this is a little sneak peek for all of you by the time I actually get live anyway. So this is, hello, Dawn. Hello, nice to see you. So this is the color reveal Barbie that we got, and this is the look. So what do we think? I like that her little outfit had strawberries on it. That's why I decided to use the little Phase It strawberry patches. And I thought that this was a fun kind of pink, purple, kind of reddish sort of eye look. And then because of the little tops on the strawberries, we even put a little bit of like green on the inner corner as a little surprise. And so that is the look. What do we think? Do we think it works for this Barbie doll? I'm very excited. And then for the products, I decided to use it because it happened to be good timing because I had made a post, excuse me, pretty girl, about Nomad Cosmetics because they recently came out with this this palette. This is the Paris La Boheme. So this came in fairly recently. This is the color story. This is the palette that I used. Now for the pop of green, I didn't use these shades for that. I did actually pull out another Nomad palette. I pulled out the Paradise Island, but this is what I used for the eyes primarily. Gonna put you on the TV, migraine and ocular. Oh, Dion, I'm so sorry. That's not fun. But yeah, we're glad that you'll be nearby listening to us. They also came out with this bouncy blush palette. So I did order both of these together. I waited to order it until the blush palette. This came out later because they had been mentioning that this was like a new formula for them. It's a very like cream to powder kind of situation. And so I waited until they released it and then I bought them as a bundle because you got a little discount. We know I love a bargain. And so I had posted pictures. I had taken pictures of the palettes and I had posted and I just said, hey, I got these. I'm super excited to play with them. And Nomad Cosmetics left me this beautiful, beautiful comment that was so lovely. It was just so sweet. And so they were just like, I have it screenshotted because I'm going to include it in a video. Hello, Trudy Wright. You old man, no disrespect. Well, a little disrespect, a little bit. But I am I'm 48 years young, and I'm a fabulous drag diva, and we're glad to welcome you here to our little show. Day 3. Oh no, Ems Milano. Hello. So I had put a post up showing these two palettes and just saying I was excited to use them. And they left a comment that was like, oh, we hope you love it, blah, blah, blah. And then like, we're so excited that our products are in the hands of such a talented artist. It was something like that. I'll have to post it. Maybe I'll put it on my post tab. And I was just like blown away. It was so sweet. It was so nice. I didn't know that Nomad Cosmetics had ever even like noticed anything that I put up. So even if that was the first time they saw me and they just looked and they just said such wonderful, sweet things, I was like, I'm easily convinced. So I decided to go ahead and I was like, well, I wanted to film a look anyway. And then I realized that this worked with that doll, the Barbie doll. So I was like, well, this will be perfect for a Get Ratchet with Me using this color reveal Barbie. It's the perfect colors. So I was like, let's go ahead and do it. And I had a lot of fun. Said hello. Surprised the chat isn't flooded by crazy kiss. Is she having a stroke? What's happening? Let's see how many C words we can put together. Not that C word. Surprised the chat isn't flooded by crazy Christian cultists screaming about how Jesus loves you. Yes, Taylor, that just wait. We're only about 5 minutes in, so just wait. It's probably coming. I think Nomad is great at responding to people they've responded to. Oh, good. I love that. It was so sweet, and it was just such a nice thing to say, because sometimes brands will come by and they'll just like, they'll give a like, or they'll like say, oh, we're so excited, or this looks great, or whatever. It was like a long comment. It was really, really beautiful, and so I appreciated it. For the lip combo, I tried out the Pam Anderson lip combo. So I had mentioned before about how I ordered the products for the Pam Anderson lip products, like the lip duo. Jesus, what is going on with me today? Is she having a stroke? Is this content? I don't know. But the things for her lip combo. So Erin Parsons, if you don't know Erin Parsons, she's wonderful. She's like the makeup artist for Maybelline, I think. And she's worked for MAC and other companies. I think she's worked with Pat McGrath. Just really, really wonderful and beautiful content. We love it. And so I'm here for it. But she was talking about how she found something that listed the products for Pam Anderson's signature lip. And it was Lancome's Amandel lip pencil, Lancome's Naif lipstick, and Clinique's honey glaze lipstick. And so she tested like 40 Frost lipsticks, and she found the Anastasia Beverly Hills liner in Chai, the L'Oreal lipstick in Mauve, and the CoverGirl lipstick in Sugar Almond. That's what's on my lips, and we're going to do a little reapply to just kind of make sure we've got everything. I shit myself. Well, I'm sorry, Ava. Hopefully you have wet wipes and clean underwear. God bless you. Go with God. I thought Pam wasn't wearing makeup anymore. She's not. This is her like 90s signature. Like Pam Anderson, if you remember from like Home Improvement, like back in the day, that signature Pam look, these are the dupes for that. And so those 3 products are not available anymore. That's why she was looking for dupes, so you could recreate it. Hello, Grace. How are you doing? Hello, Grace. Hello. Everybody's saying hello. We love that. So that's what I have on. It does kind of wear down. I mean, it is just bullet lipsticks, and I've been talking a lot. So the liner, I feel like, still looks pretty good. And you just kind of layer them. So I'm doing the L'Oreal first. This is the Mauve. And so you can see it's very peachy. I was surprised at how peachy, because I feel like it looks very icy pink. And she said that these aren't necessarily like exact, but these were the closest she found. And then this is the Sugar Almond. This is where it really, let me blot a couple times just to, and I don't know if anybody else buys L'Oreal lipsticks. That L'Oreal lipstick has the same like old lady makeup smell that the Give Beauty blushes had. If you remember the blushes, they had this like, I call it old lady makeup smell. And it's not bad, but it's just a very specific, it makes me think of like cold cream and powder, and it instantly brings me back to my grandmother getting ready for the day, like at her kitchen table and curling her hair and the whole thing. And like, but it's got that smell, and it's the same smell as the Give Beauty. So I'm not sure what does that. Anyway, sorry, I had that little trip down memory lane, because every time I open that lipstick, I'm just like, it's that again. So that is with Sugar Almond on top. And I need to look. I don't check for CoverGirl very often, because I've had bad experiences with CoverGirl, especially the eyeshadows. But they apparently have a whole bunch of these little like Frost lipsticks. And Frost lipsticks, I'm hoping are coming back. I'm hoping we're done with these. Like, I love a matte lipstick, and I love a matte liquid lipstick, but I love a Frost. So if we could get more fabulous, so I need to buy more CoverGirl lipstick. So that's definitely going to be something that pops up in a video at some point. Cold cream, the description, I think of you. Oh, sorry. I got confused. I was reading the I, not ow. You don't like frost? See, I'm such a 90s kid. I love a frost lipstick. I love a frost lipstick. And I do love this combo. I think it's beautiful. I mean, I put this on and I'm wearing blonde hair and I don't immediately look like Pamela Anderson. So clearly I have to file charges against Aaron Parson. I'm so sorry. Because clearly that's what was missing with the lipstick. But it looked awful on me, Frost. Now, a lot of times, because that's how I got into like the Chola lip. A lot of times Frost lipsticks, if you don't wear them with a lip liner. Now, some people, they can get away with it. Some people, especially like deeper skin tones, where there's already a bit of a contrast. But if you're a pale fish like me, and then you put like a pale Frost lipstick, it does look crazy. It does look a little bit wild. But if you put like a darker lip line to give it some contrast, beautiful. Dawn, I'm telling you, give them a try. Give them a try. Don't leave them outside alone in the cold. They would love it. I always use lip liner, not back then though. Yeah, the lip liner is what does it for me because that like it does look when I wear like a light frosty pink with no lip liner, I look crazy, full crazy. And so absolutely. And this lip liner was really easy. I got my little like lip shape really easily. I just am excited about how this came together. I think this was fun. So now we're also going to do, I thought we would do a fun little like hangout and just kind of chat about things and talk about videos, but also talk about jewelry. So I have mentioned a couple times, and I did a previous live where I kind of showed off some of the pieces. And so we're going to do that again because I finally have all of the pieces are like tagged and they are ready for sale. And so I went out to my car yesterday morning and I decided not to start. So I'm going to have to try to figure out how to get it to a shop. I'm probably going to need a new battery. Worst case scenario, I'm going to need a new alternator. So I was like, we better start selling some of this shit. So I was like, not that there's pressure for you to buy, but I was like, let's show it off because now that like YouTube shows lives to more people, I was like, I never really know how to promote stuff. I'm not good at promoting. That's not, I'm a terrible business person. Like I'm an idea person. I'm a creative person. All of those things. I have great skills. I've never been the best at like promoting. So I was like, let's do a little live and then people can reach out and contact me. I'm on Instagram at Janessa J Official, or if you follow me on Facebook, those are the easiest ways to get a hold of me is those two like messengers. But we're going to look, and I also have a website, janessaj.com. All of these are listed on janessaj.com, but I thought, you know what, let's go ahead and just, let's talk about some jewelry and talk about what's going on. We didn't use lip liner in the 70s, but had frosted lipsticks. Yeah, frosted lipsticks, they kind of go in this cycle, and I'm ready for them to come back around. It's time. But yeah, they need a lip liner. That's in the 90s. Not everybody used lip liners. Like some people just used the like frost lipsticks. And like I said, there's some people that can pull it off, but if you're this complexion, you need a lip liner. You need a lip liner. Or it needs to be something that's frosty, but also like a color. Like if it's like a pink, like a Barbie pink, but it's also frost, that's great. It's these like very light kind of pastel, because it almost becomes like concealer lips, but like shiny concealer lips. It gets weird. It gets weird. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate that. I love the way that it came together. I don't think lip liner was a thing until the night. Yeah, it was much more. It wasn't as common. I think that a lot of like makeup artists used it for things and they used it for like film and television, but not necessarily for like just public use. All the same frosty pink from Wet and Wild in junior high. Yes, there's always those things that are like the one thing that like everybody had. So let's take a look at some jewelry and we'll talk about some of the House of Champagne originals that are available for purchase. So any of you who have never been here before, hello, my name is Janessa and I'm North Dakota's trash queen of glam, geek, and gore. And I also make jewelry. She's a jewelry designer. So let's take a look. I just wanted to have a fun little, it's kind of like a little Mary Kay party or like a Tupperware party without the like gross, embarrassing MLM element, which I have done myself. So no shame if anybody else has done that or is doing that. But it's not the move for me anymore. But I was like, let's have a little fun jewelry party. And let's start. I love working with stone jewelry. I love working with stones and crystals. I work with all different kinds of materials, but stones are my favorite. And I love a good amethyst piece. Look at that beautiful, beautiful amethyst with the wire wrapping. Absolutely love that with gold tone. And then there we have the beautiful just chevron amethyst in pairs. Now I did try, let's see if I can do this. I'm not very good at this sort of thing. Hello, Rick. How are you doing? From Australia. Hello from Australia. Hello to Australia. Hello from North Dakota. So here we have these chevron amethyst, and I tried to pair them up like somewhat similar depth. So we have a couple darker, a couple lighter, a couple darker, a couple lighter. And so that's kind of how we tried to pair them up. So this is a piece that is available. Now, amethyst always does really well when I have jewelry for sale and I do things. Absolutely, amethyst is one of the most popular things, and I understand why. Amethyst is a fantastic like soft healing energy kind of stone. Now again, if you're not into crystals, if you don't believe in any of that kind of stuff, it's still just beautiful jewelry. You still could just wear this. But if you are into like crystals and like the kind of energy that they bring and stuff, this is really great. Excuse me. Amethyst is really great for people who are needing to calm anxiety, who are trying to battle like addictions and things, and they need like a soft, supportive kind of energy around them. Amethyst is really great. It's great for sleep. If you have an amethyst, put it under your pillow or under the bed underneath where you sleep. Absolutely fabulous for that. And this is just a beautiful, I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful purple stone. It's one of my favorites. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that. Hope you're all well. All the best to you and yours, and have a great stream. Thank you. You as well. Have a lovely day. Let's see. It's like 8-ish p.m., 9 p.m. here in North Dakota. So you would be, so it must be late at night in Australia, I'm guessing, or is it the next morning already? I think you're probably the next morning in Australia, right? Is it Sunday morning in Australia? I don't really know. So there is that. And of course, I don't have any of the prices labeled anywhere. They're all on my website, janessaj.com. I think this one might be $35. Now, most of my jewelry, pretty much all of my jewelry, is either $25, $30, or $35. I try to keep the pricing pretty standard across the line. I do have some that are $25 that are a little bit cheaper. And as we go through, I do have some bundle deals for people who are interested. And I'm sorry if this feels like a QVC, but I thought it would be fun to have a little jewelry party. I used to do this on Facebook Live all the time, and Facebook just does not give a shit about live anymore. And so all of my like lives that I used to do on Facebook, I'm starting to phase over here. And one would be like showing off jewelry, and like sometimes people would claim it. If you're not interested, just look at the jewelry. You don't have to buy anything. I'm not pressuring anybody, but I just have all this jewelry sitting in my office and I need it to find forever home. So I thought this would be good. I'm watching QVC right now. Don, I was just thinking that. That's why I thought of. I don't even wear since I don't work in the office anymore. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you don't, I work virtually. So like I even kept one of my pieces that I put together. I decided to keep for myself. Didn't I? Where did I put it? I thought I put it over here. But it was this. Oh yeah. So this is one of the pieces that I made. This, hello, fabulous Joe. How are you doing? And so here we have, look at that beautiful tiger eye pendant. I had this for sale, and then I just kept looking at it, and I was like, I just want to own that. And so this is now part of my collection. So it's listed as sold on the website because it was sold to me by me just taking it off the hook and deciding it was mine. So hello, fabulous Joe. We're doing a little jewelry party. We're just talking about some of the jewelry that I've made that is available up on janessaj.com. So we've been talking about this amethyst piece for a long time. We should probably move on. If you liked that tiger eye piece, I do have other tiger eye as well. I do like working with tiger eye. That's another favorite stone. Tiger eye, amethyst, rose quartz are all things that I really, really love. So let's see. Everybody's saying hello. Yes. So here we are. So here's another beautiful tiger eye. And here is this kind of fun geometric circle pendant where it's half open and then half tiger eye. Again, tiger eye gives you that beautiful, the shifty, almost lenticular kind of motion. And then we have beautiful, like we have some round tiger eye with some gold colored faceted crystal. And then we have little faceted tiger eyes as well. So I just love, and we alternated that pattern all the way around the necklace. So we have this this pendant, and then it goes to all of the different tiger eye. So this is the one that is still available. The other tiger eye went into my personal collection, but that regular tiger eye is still available. Thank you, Joe. This is going to be a Get Ratchet with me on my channel at some point in the future. We know I'm really sketchy with actually keeping up with editing, but at some point, and it was actually inspired by a color reveal Barbie. So this is the color reveal Barbie. She's got little strawberries on her outfit, so I used the strawberry Phase It makeup patches. And yeah, so we've got, and she kind of smells like strawberry. It's like that fakey candy strawberry, but I like it. And so that is the inspiration for this look, was this color reveal Barbie. Yeah, I like to do that. I like to play with color reveal Barbies and use that to pick my look, because it lets me kind of like just go a little wild, or if I can't decide what I want to do for that day, I let Barbie decide. And she's a fashion icon, so she never steers me wrong. So there is what is going on with that. Then we have another version of Tiger Eye. Now, I love this. I love Tiger Eye, but I also really have a soft spot in my heart for Honey Tiger Eye. And so I found this little, like, this honeycomb pendant, which I thought was really pretty. It's very kind of delicate. And so I love a good statement piece, but it doesn't have to be heavy or bulky. I just thought this cute, elegant little honeycomb. And then Honey Tiger Eye has that same shifty, beautiful sort of tiger eye look to it, but it's much more of like a buttery, yellowy kind of color. So you can see we've got all those beautiful, beautiful Honey Tiger Eye. I like to make my jewelry nice and long. They all have an extender chain, so you can play with the length a little bit, usually about 2.5 to 3 inches. And then this one just has a fun little thing. I always put all of my jewelry, always has little extender chains so that you can customize, like I said. And then this is just a fun, they always have a little dangle on the end. And a lot of times it's just like a version of whatever stone is on there, but sometimes I'll have these little mini pendants, and this I just thought is like a little token, and it says no cash value, and then it's got just like a little eagle. Now, I used to work at the Plain Brown Wrapper, which is the adult dirty store in town. It's not called that. It got bought out by this chain called Romantics years ago. I don't care. I will dead name that bitch till the end of my life. I loved when it was called the Plain Brown Wrapper. And I especially loved it because we used to call it the PBR, because they used to have this hand painted sign, this like big wooden sign. And whoever painted it put Plain Brown Wrapper, but they spelled rapper R-A-P-P-E-R, as in like someone who raps, like Debrat is a rapper. Clearly I'm not like super into, like, I don't have a more up-to-date reference than Debrat, but although I love Debrat. I was just listening to Debrat the other day. That's why it popped in my head. And that's how they spelled it. So it said Plain Brown Wrapper, but we called it the PBR because they spelled it Plain Brown Wrapper. And that always made me laugh. And I wish I had known when they renovated. And because for a while, Romantics was buying up all these stores, but they let them keep their like regular name, the name they had before they were bought out. And then they would just be like, internally, it would be like Romantics number 25 or whatever. Then at some point they made the change and they decided they were going to brand everything as Romantics. And I wish I had known when that was happening, because I would have tried to get that sign when they like took it down. I would have like bought it. I would have paid money for it, because that made me giggle. It tickled me so much. And I worked there for like 2 years. It was, I don't have the wild stories that some people who work at porn stores have, but I certainly had some. But all of that to say, we used to have, now it's all done with like cards and everything, but we used to have like tokens, and people would come in for the like dirty movies in the back, the booths. They would come and get tokens. and that's how you would use it. And then there was like a token dispensing machine in the back where you could get more, but you had to buy your initial tokens out front. And that was like part of the end of your shift, was having to like rebalance all the tokens, and like you had a count from when you started and a count at the end, and then the till would tell you how many you sold, and you had to make sure they matched up and all this kind of stuff. So I just have this like soft spot in my heart for weird little tokens, and so I just thought, let's put that with the honey. It has nothing to do with honey or bees or anything like that, but I just thought it was cute, and I thought that was fun. All right. Let's go to a blue. For those of you who are blue lovers, this is a fun little jewelry piece. Now, this is a lapis pendant. So this is lapis lazuli, I believe is how you say it. At one point, somebody used to say lazuli, somebody that I knew. I don't think that's right, but I have not Googled it. I have not really checked it. I think it's lapis lazuli, but they were so convinced it was lazuli, and I was like, okay. I mean, go on with your bad self. I don't know what to say, but I don't want to say that it's not, because I have not confirmed. But so it's this beautiful like geometric sunburst pendant with a lapis piece, and then up here we've got blue tiger eye and sodalite, and that's kind of our stones for the whole necklace. So that is, now sodalite and lapis sometimes look very similar. A lot of times sodalite will have a little bit more of this kind of marbled with the blue and the white. These are a little bit more milkier kind of, but they're still kind of sodalite. Great gin. Yes, I am selling. I do have a website, janessaj.com, or you can contact me through Instagram or Facebook. YouTube, they don't have like a mailbox that you can reach out to, but you can contact me through any of my social media. All of these are for sale. And so we're doing just like a little jewelry show. And so, like, the way you can tell sodalite and lapis apart is that lapis, there's no way my camera's going to focus, but lapis will sometimes have little, like, inclusions that look like pyrite or gold. Like, there'll be little kind of gold metallic tone flecks. And lapis will have those, sodalite will not. So that's one way that you can kind of tell them apart if you're trying to identify whether something is lapis or whether it's sodalite. And so here is that one. So we're just kind of looking, we're also doing just kind of a hang. And so we'll look at a few pieces of jewelry, and then we'll just chat and talk about what's going on in people's lives. I don't want this to just be the like QVC show. I'm sorry, I won't subject you to that, but and in fact, we went through a lot of the like initial ones that I have that are like stone jewelry. So let's take a little break, because I know, Dawn, you were reading my mind. It was feeling a little bit QVC. But if you like shopping, don't let me stop you. All of these things are for sale that I'm showing you. So, and now I'm trying to open another Mountain Dew. Squirrel Swamp, I love it. Keep showing your jewelry. We're definitely going to show more jewelry. We've got more to go. We're just taking a little chitty chat break to see how people are doing. How was your weekend going? How is everybody's weekend going? I am going fine, except for the fact that I had to like Uber here today because my car, poor Pearl, and I knew it was going to happen because I paid off my car early. So my car loan was going to go through last May, and I paid it off a little bit early. So actually I've lasted longer than I thought I would, but I was like, well, now I've paid off the car, so it's time for something to go wrong and for it to need repairs. And here we are. I'm gonna need a new battery or something. So I'm a little bit like frazzled with that, but otherwise, you have QVC on right now. I love that. Oh, I thought you meant I was QVC. I thought you were calling me QVC, and I was like, well, I would love it. Clown, hello, Heather. How are you doing? How is your night going? Clearly not very well if you have nothing better to do than like go onto the internet and call strangers clowns, but I hope that your night gets better. I hope it improves. I hope your mood improves, or I guess have the day you deserve, whatever works. Hello, Mama Champagne is saying hello. Let's show a couple more since we did get a request. It's not just me pushing it. Lying Clown. Oh, Lying Clown. What am I lying about? I don't know what you think I'm lying about. I was just talking about how my car needs repairs. I promise you, I wish I was lying about that. I wish that I was making that up for attention, but it's not. The British Empire owned 26 point whatever percent of the world at one point. That's over a quarter of the world. Okay. The British Empire. I mean, colonialism, not great. Lie to my face, clown. Lies. What is, Heather? I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know what's happening. You're going to need to calm it down or I will block you. I usually let people kind of run themselves out, but it doesn't bother me. But I don't know what you think I'm lying about. I'm talking about jewelry that I made, and I'm talking about my car repairs that are coming up. Yeah, it is an odd statement. I don't know what you think I'm lying about. What do you think I'm lying to? You're just saying lies, lies, but what do you think I'm lying about? Stop lying to me about your gender. Oh, honey, I haven't even told you about my gender. I'm just wearing beautiful makeup. This is my makeup look for today. But you clearly have some issues with gender programming, and everybody has to unlearn that on their own. Yeah, I think we will block her. I think it's time for her to go. Let me see. I've got these big nails on, and so it's lies, lies, lies in my head. Let me see. How do I? Okay, there we go. Okay, there you go, Heather. You go in timeout. Thank you for joining us. Heather is not a Christian. I don't know if she is or not. I mean, she behaves like a lot of the Christians that I know. She's dark-sided. I mean, she's not very nice. That's clear. I don't know if she's fully dark-sided. I think some people just new things scare them or frighten them or whatever, and so for some reason a fabulous drag queen on the internet like triggers her. So I don't know what to say. I hope she has a better day. I hope she improves her life. Amazing makeup. Thank you, Ems. I appreciate that. Yes, Dawn. Bye, Heather. Bye. You can go, Heather. All right, so let's take a look at this pendant. I think is really fun. This is a preserved leaf pendant. Now, I don't know science. I'm a big old drag queen on the internet. So, but there's something with, I don't know if they dip it into, I don't think it might be real gold. Maybe it's not, or like whatever kind of metal they dip this into. This is a real leaf. And you can see all the like veining. So all of the like veins and things in the leaf are a little bit thicker. And so they don't like burn away entirely. And so the gold like coats them and it creates this beautiful like mesh. You can see me peeking. But the stuff that's in between the veins is a little bit thinner, and so it burns away. And so when they dip the leaves, they get this beautiful like preserved leaf pendant. I think is so cool. And of course I love green, and so I mixed it with this is some like matte finish aventurine with some faceted crystal and then larger faceted crystal rondelles. So those are rondelle beads. Rondelles are basically, if you take like God, I was gonna have a Cynthia Doll moment. I was gonna say a cube. It's not a cube, it's a sphere. If you take a sphere and squish them down a little bit, see how that's kind of like a little, it's not quite like fully a circle. It's a little bit like squished a little bit. That's a rondelle. So we have a mixture of faceted crystal and aventurine. Cool leaf. Yeah, thank you, David. I love these pendants. I love when they preserve leaves like that. I think that's so fun. And so this is a beautiful, beautiful piece. Now, I like to make my jewelry long. I have a big old fatty neck, so I'm always thinking about, sometimes if I'm like, I might end up keeping it for myself. So I want to make sure that it like, it'll fit me. And a lot of times I make sure that it will fit over my head. Like it can be a tight fit, but if I can fit it over my head without undoing the clasp, that's a good length for me, because then it'll fit big necks, it'll fit small necks and just be a little bit longer. And if you have the bazooms, if you have gazongas, like if you're working those like big titty Brian gnome situation, having it a little bit longer will help it like sit on top of your shirt so it doesn't immediately just fall into your cleavage. And so I like to make my jewelry fairly long. So that is pretty standard for me. Oblique spheroid. I like that. That sounds very sciencey. That's oblique spheroid. That sounds sexy, David. There's something about that. I just like it. I just like it. oblique spheroid. But yeah, for beads, I've never seen it anywhere else, by the way, as well. So I believe you when you say oblique spheroid, because I only ever see rondelle related to beads. And so, but yeah, so apparently that's what that shape is called when you make an oblique spheroid. I don't know, why is that tickling me so much? I don't know, but that, David, you win for today. That's my favorite word of the day, is oblique spheroid. Then I have a beautiful cameo. Let's take a look at this faux cameo. This is a lot of fun. I love working with faux cameos. Now, someday maybe I'll own like a real cameo. Real true cameos are so expensive because they're like meticulously carved out of shell. And so it's much easier to just like mold and or press them and out of like acrylic or some other. So this is a beautiful, beautiful cameo. This black and brown cameo with the profile, which I think is gorgeous, has these like rhinestone accents on the side, this beautiful gold tone. And then to kind of play up the colors of the cameo, I use these kind of almost plummy brown glass pearls. And then I've got black banded agate with like a smoky faceted crystal. And so that's, and then we just alternated those. So for this one, we alternated the black agate and the brown glass pearls. And I just thought that they were such a great match for that pendant. I just thought the colors just were so perfectly matched. I just thought they worked so well together. So that is a beautiful, beautiful cameo, faux cameo piece that I have. Thank you, Squirrel. I appreciate that. I always try to be very clear because sometimes things, let me tell you, when you are shopping for craft supplies, sometimes things are marked in the most wild ways. So I know a lot about crystals, but I'm not by any means like a gemologist or an expert. So I have to kind of sometimes go a little bit by what something says. And if I think that there's something different, I'll always call it out. But most of the time, I want people to know what they're getting. So I don't want to say cameo when I know that that's not a real cameo. That's a faux cameo. And if you find a real cameo for $30, you're probably in a vintage shop or something, and maybe they just don't know what they have, or you're at a rummage sale, because real cameos are freaking expensive. So I don't want to say cameo, and then somebody gets it, and they're like, this is like acrylic. Ooh, my strawberries are itching. And so, but I love the way it turned out, and I don't mind if something is a faux cameo. I don't think it has to be real. I think it's still a real, beautiful piece of jewelry. Huh? I'm so sorry. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Anybody have any thoughts on their weekends? Anybody, what's going on? What's new? Are you just transfixed by the beauty of this strawberry Barbie look? What's up, bruh? Blocked for sure. Well, what's up is we're having a little jewelry party. We're having a live hangout session. I recorded a Get Ratchet With Me, and then I recorded a Thunderdome video. So I did do my Thunderdome of Gourmand Girl, so that will be coming to the channel at some point. Now, my next video, I'm going to try to get it done this weekend. We'll see how things go. I am trying to get my Crystal Smith video out, so that will be jewelry, but that will be like big drag queen jewelry. And so we're trying to get that out this weekend. We'll see if that actually happens. And we'll see after this live. I think I might be done for today. I think I might film some TikToks, and then that might be the end. I did script out a two-part Thunderdome of Odin's Eye, doing the regular line and the collab palettes. So I have everything put together. I have it kind of scripted out. But I think I'm going to run out of steam before that, because I'm going to have to Uber home, or if it's early enough, I can call Angie and see if she'll haul my ass home. But since it's Saturday, I should be able to get an Uber fairly late. That's the other thing. That's the other thing. In Grand Forks, like, I think Uber and Lyft have gotten a little bit more reliable, but because this is like borderline rural, like sometimes you'll just go on Uber and they're like, well, fuck you, there's no Ubers out. Like, you can't get one. Since it's Saturday, I mean, they're pretty much always, there's somebody online when it's like bar close time, or like people going to and from the bars. So I think I'll be able to get an Uber tonight, but if I get done early enough, I can have Angie haul my ass home, hopefully. Because then we could stop for ice cream at the gas station, because I am in the mood. I've done a lot of work today with the jewelry, and like I did a live on Facebook and all the kinds of stuff. And so I feel like rewarding myself with a little Ben and Jerry's. Hello, Crystal Capit. Is that how you say it? Sorry if I incorrectly pronounced that, but hello, Crystal. Welcome. Speaking of Crystal, let's take a look at another fabulous piece of jewelry. Now, this one, I don't know if anybody else is on the TikToks. I have been loving the clips that I've started to see come out of Jennifer Nettles, who, from my understanding, is like the lead singer of the band Sugarland. She's writing a musical and she's starring in it. And it's called Julia, I think. I thought it was Juliana, but Juliana Tofana sounds a little bit sing-songy, so I think it's Julia. Julia Tofana came up with aqua tofana, which was a poison that women used to escape from abusive, unwanted marriages. Like if they were married off to somebody by their family or their husband was abusive and terrible and whatever, they would use aqua tofana to slowly poison their husband, and he would pass away. And at the time, I mean, she was living in like, I think the 1600s. And because I think it was the 17th century, so that would be the 1600s. Like they couldn't detect it. They only found out about it because there was one woman who got the poison, the aqua tofana, and before her husband drank it, she confessed, and then that's how Julia got caught and then got executed. But I subscribe to the Goodbye Earl system of marital justice, so I decided to call this beautiful little piece. This is called Aqua Tofana, after the poison. And so this is a little perfume bottle pendant with beautiful rhinestone. It's got the filigree detail. It's got the rhinestone accents. It's got a bunch of little white rhinestones and then this beautiful kind of turquoisey rhinestone. How am I doing today? I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm having a fun time. I think maybe I answered that. I said hello, but I don't know if I answered your question. Clearly, squirrel, like I get distracted easily. I'm so sorry. And then I just had these fun, like kind of marbly, blue, green, turquoise, brown, like faceted crystals. And I just thought they worked so well with that little pendant, the little perfume bottle. And so I just thought that was fun. And so that is aqua tofana. So I think now they can detect it a little bit easier. So I'm not telling anybody to poison their husband. Poison at your own risk. Not recommended. But that's the history. And the song that they keep previewing from this musical is so good, and it's going around TikTok like wildfire right now. At least my algorithm. So I don't know if anybody else is seeing it. But now there are 3 necklaces that go together. These are my favorite, and I do have a bundle deal for these because I just imagine there's some like kindergarten teacher or librarian or something that just needs all 3 of these together. Love that story. I'm going to look it up. Yeah, I was very fascinated because I'd heard of aqua tofana, and I know that Dion uses a lot of, I don't know if she has that palette, the aqua tofana, but, or Veil of Tofana is what they called it. The Veil, so they had a palette that was called Veil of Tofana, and I think Dion has done looks with that palette from Notoriously Morbid. And so I was aware of that, and I'd heard of aqua tofana, but I'd never really looked it up. And then I had been seeing this thing for this Julia, but it didn't say her last name. And so I hadn't put it together. And then I was like, when I was thinking about naming that aqua tofana, because somebody had commented on a Facebook post and they were like, looks like a good bottle to keep your aqua tofana in. And I was like, I should look that up. And that's when I looked up and found out the story. And that's when I realized that Julia Tofana, who created it, is the woman that Jennifer Nettles is writing the musical about. So I was like, it all comes together. Oh, sorry, I'm also a little bit froggy. So these are the 3 that go together. So each of these necklaces is $30, but I have a bundle deal for $75 because there is some just like quirky person who loves dinosaurs, or a librarian, or a teacher, or just a fashion person who just needs dinosaurs in their look and in their lives. So this is the first one. This is Peg. I've given them names too. I don't name all of the designs, but every once in a while, if I have a wild whim. So this is Peg because she's a Pegasaurus. Get it? And so this is a little like a little brown geometric Stegosaurus pendant, and then we've got these kind of brown glass pearls, and then we've got these blue. I thought, let's bring in some blue. And so we've got, these are kind of like a champagne faceted crystal. And then we've got these milk glass in light blue and dark blue. And we just kind of alternate those as we go up the necklace. And then on the end, Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. And then thank you, Joe. Yes, these dinosaurs are so cute. And then they've also each got a little, their dangle is another little dinosaur. And so I had a little blue stegosaurus. And so I was like, well, we can have two stegosauruses and we can mix the brown and the blue. And so that's Peg. The next one is Eleanor. So Eleanor doesn't have a pun. The other two have puns. So there's Pegasaurus. Eleanor, I just thought she looked like an Eleanor. I don't know. And this one is the one that's a little bit more, it's got a little bit of a feminine quality to it because I used pink. And we know if we follow our societal gender programming, we know that pink is supposed to be for girls. And so this is a little gold Triceratops. This is Eleanor. And she's got some beautiful faceted crystal. And then she's got, what I keep forgetting what that is. That's just treated tiger faceted crystal. Yeah. So these are just like a glass ceramic bead, and then there's faceted crystal. These are tiger eye, but this is a color treated tiger eye. And so this is a beautiful like fuchsia pink colored tiger eye. So I love tiger eye that is just wild. And this place that I shop from in Gilbert, Arizona, Bernie's Beads, I used to go on work trips to Arizona. And so I would go there all the time in person and buy a bunch of stuff. And now that I don't go down there, I love like placing a big phone order. So usually around, he always has good sales, and the more you buy, the more discount you get, but he has a bigger sale like around Black Friday. And so the last time I ordered a ridiculous amount. Oh, I love it. Yes. Oh man. Oh no, another freak. We are the weirdos, mister. Don't worry, squirrel. You don't have to engage with the trolls. You can leave them alone. They'll go away. Like James. James will go away. And if they don't, we will block them. But there's going to be trolls that wander in, but we are living our best lives, and we're just going to let them spin out, and we're not going to give them the attention. And so I hope you have the day you deserve, Allman and James, both of you. So here is so I love like a color treated tiger eye. I think that's a lot of fun. And then she has a little pink brontosaurus. Look at how cute that is. Yes, I love being a freak. Hello, Joker. Well, that's the nicest of the trolls. Hello, Tick Tick Music. How are you doing? And so this is Eleanor. So this is the second of the dinosaurs. And then we have Millie. When I tell you what inspired her name, you're going to groan, probably out loud. I love this, but she is a beautiful green brontosaurus. How cute is that? How cute is that beautiful green brontosaurus? And then, is this gold? It is gold tone metal from Michaels. It is certainly not gold. You look like Obama. Oh, you should get your vision checked. Mr. Palad, I think. Or maybe you don't know who Obama is. Maybe you got the pictures confused, because I don't look anything like Obama. I would love it if I did. I wouldn't mind it. He's a handsome man, but I don't look anything like Obama. It's gorgeous. Thank you. Where can I order from? You can message me on Instagram at Janessa J Official, or I'm also on Facebook, but my Facebook is all messed. Is this a Temu wig? It is not a Temu wig. You couldn't get anything like this on Temu, girl. This is an Acacia Forgot locks. Acacia Forgot was on season 17 of Drag Race. She used to live here in Grand Forks, and she was my wig lady for a while. Now she's too busy because she was on Drag Race, and so that's a little bit disappointing. When I see your eyes, I see green card. Okay. Well, I'm from America. Are you saying that you want to marry me for a green card? I'm not really looking for that. I almost married my lesbian friend so that she could get a green card. She's from France. She's very sardonic. We used to like smoke, because you could smoke at the bar, and I smoked for like 2 weeks. I had a thing. And so we would go to this bar called The Edge, and we would like smoke Nat Sherman cigarettes with the gold filters, and we would judge people. Her name was Sophie. Sometimes you just wish people believed in themselves more. Like, she just was so judgy, and I loved her. Is that a Timu wig? Sorry. Have you ever been to Wall Drug in South Dakota? There's a giant green brontosaurus. I have not. I've seen pictures. I dated somebody who like that was his like yearly vacation was he would go to Wall Drug and the Corn Palace and girl, couldn't be me. Do you do kids' birthday parties? I sure don't. I've done a bat mitzvah. I've done a bat mitzvah before, but I was friends with her parents, and so they asked me to do it. You love that? Isn't that fun? Isn't that? I just found that on eBay. I've had it for a while. I didn't just find it. Like I found it on eBay, and it was in a purse, and I hadn't had it for like a year because I had it in this. I ditched it in this purse, and then I hadn't used the purse for a long time, and so now I have it again. Why you smoking and talk? You can drink Molly and fly. Oh, this was a long time ago when you could still smoke in bars, and I didn't like smoking, and it never caught on, thank God. But I did for a while. I went. It was the '90s, and so you could buy these Nat Sherman cigarettes that were fancy. They had like colored paper and a gold filter, and so we thought we were fancy, and so we would go to the edge, and oh, it was terrible. I love South Dakota. The only thing worse than North Dakota is South Dakota. And Christy Nome is like the perfect example. You make me laugh. If I lived in North Dakota, I would beg to be your friend. You could absolutely be my friend. You could still be my friend online. I have a lot of online friends too. But yeah, if you lived in North Dakota, we could hang out. But now we'll just have to be online friends. I bet you bench press 500 pounds. What? Sometimes people, I don't know what do I look super strong to you? I'm not super strong. I'm not super butch. I cannot. Let's get back to Millie. I get distracted too easily. Okay, so little green brontosaurus, and then we've got these like crackle glass, which I think are really fun. And then we've got these, and then we alternated it in different patterns. We've got crackle glass, and then we've got this green faceted glass with these faceted crystal on either side. And then we did 2 of the crackle glass, back to the dark green, 2 of the crackle glass, and that's how we did it. And then we've got a little green T-Rex on the end. So she's got a little T-Rex friend. So the Stegosaurus is the only one that matches the pendant and the dangle on the extender chain, but the colors match. Now she is called Millie because I was thinking about Stranger Things. Millie Bobby Browntosaurus. I told you you would groan. You would groan out loud. So that is Millie Bobby Browntosaurus. Now these are all $30 each, but you can get all 3 of them for $75. Now shipping is extra, but if you wanted these, the shipping is extra. The shipping for up to 3 pieces is $15, and shipping for 4 or more is $25. And you know, sometimes depending on what people order, sometimes we work out a deal, and sometimes I do sales. Like I do this little bundle deal where you can get all 3 of these for $75 plus shipping. Because I think they should all just live with the same person. I would love that. I would love that. I was just awestruck going through the Badlands. Oh, let's see. The Badlands are beautiful. I live on the side of North Dakota that's like glacial lake bed, so it's like boring as hell. But the Badlands are beautiful. I used to do a summer job out in the Badlands. Absolutely. Sorry, you're way off topic. We're all off topic. It's Dawn. It's okay. Please remember to smash that like button for our lovely host. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate that. Hello, Bruni. How are you doing? Hello. Welcome. Welcome. Mr. T starter sets are cheaper. That would be sad splitting them. It would be sad splitting them up, Don. Mr. T starter sets are cheaper. If somebody wants a Mr. T look, I don't make that kind of jewelry, and so this is not the place for people who want that. But you are right. I think you're really cool. Well, thank you. I'm a legend. Thank you. That's what they say to drag queens as they get older. They start telling you you're legendary, like you're a cryptid. And I'll be the chupacabra. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Oh. I'm looking at car repairs too, unfortunately. I hate it. I hate it so much, Dawn. I'm so... could I just not have to do car repairs right now? Like right now. So, I like the top. Thank you. This is a beautiful. I got this from my Aunt Lorene. She was decluttering some stuff from her closet. This is from Torrid. It's actually a dress, and it's from Betsy Johnson, who I love. Betsy Johnson. I love Betsy Johnson because she's fun and beautiful. It's still kind of designer, but it's much more affordable and much more accessible. A lot of times things end up at TJ Maxx, or like Torrid does the Betsy Johnson line, and like Torrid's always super expensive, but sometimes you can get deals or it goes on sale. Oh no, that's like, yeah, I'm so sorry, Dawn. Teeth grills would complete it. I don't do teeth grills either. That's too much molding and like plaster and things. So I certainly don't make those. I miss my last boss who always fixed my car. I wish I had a boss that fixed my car. They don't fix anything. They break things and bring me problems. Luckily, I have a lot of pet sitting jobs. Yeah, that's why I'm like, let's hawk some merchandise. We got car repairs coming up. Bruni, how's your day been? It's been pretty good. I've been in the office. I've been getting this jewelry stuff put together because I've started to like put it out for sale. I've got it listed up on my website, janessaj.com. I put a post up on Facebook. I have a little jewelry group. If you are on Facebook, you can search for me there because I do have a like VIP jewelry group. And I know that, again, that sounds very MLM because that's what people were doing is like their MLMs. They would put together a VIP group and try to like trap you in there. I just post my jewelry stuff, or I post sales and things. I don't post in there a lot. So if you are on Facebook and you want to look up Janessa J Champagne CM Stoner, that is my dumb Facebook name. It'll be linked down in the description box, so you can find it from there. But if you follow me on Facebook and tell me you want to be in my group, you can also do that. Yeah, so just been getting stuff ready, and then I filmed this look, and I also filmed a Thunderdome ranking video, so we've had a pretty good, productive day. D-Man, yikes on bikes. Let me tell you, sometimes I look in the mirror and I say the same thing. I'm like, yikes. Nice. Yeah, thank you. VDR4S3, RuPaul, no. RuPaul, I know she wears a lot of blonde wigs, but RuPaul is not white. Such as I, and so I'm not appropriating RuPaul's look. I am being my own blonde creation. Can I ask you a question? Do gendered rules annoy you? Not so much anymore because I just don't listen. I'm 48 years old. I'm cranky. I'm a Gen Xer. And I have no time for people trying to tell me how I'm like supposed to behave or like rules I'm supposed to follow. So I just don't. I used to get annoyed more when I was younger. I don't as much anymore because that's the thing. As you get older, you have so many fewer fucks to give. And someday there's going to be a day where you look down at your little jar and you're like, oh, I have given the last fuck. No more. No more. And that's where I am with all this gendered stuff. Because I don't wear what you want to wear, do what you want to do. As long as you're not hurting people, as long as you're doing things with consent, you know what? That's what you should do. Exactly. Yes, squirrel. That's what we're here. That's what we're about on this channel. Do you think religion is very gendered? Absolutely. I think a lot of religion, I mean, and of course, every person's experience is going to be different, and every like organized group is going to be different, and every person within that group, it's going to be different. But obviously, we've seen that religion has been a primary tool of the patriarchy, of white supremacy. And so while I think that it's not always 100% for every person, always very gendered and very patriarchal, I think that we've seen that it has been a tool of the patriarchy and of white supremacy for long enough that I think that if you're going to be part of that, of religion, of that sort of thing, I think you have to be at least willing to engage with the history, especially of Christianity, but other religions too. I mean, I come from Midwestern North Dakota, so most of my experience is with Christian religions. Obviously, this is not a problem exclusively for Christian religions, but that's where I have more of my experience and more of my trauma. Yay. The joy of being older. Who knew? I know. I used to care so much about the stupidest things. I used to care so much about stupid things. So stupid. So stupid. Yes, the joy of being older. I love it. Yes, John. Squirrel Swamp. I love it. Yes, Squirrel Swamp. I clearly C words and S words I'm having trouble, but Squirrel Swamp. I love it. That is a fun name. Yeah, so we're just kind of having fun. And then I should show you some things as well. I do have a few things that are on the website. Now, any of the pieces in my current collection that are $25, that's kind of my lower priced items. Like I said, most of the items are 25, 30, or 35. I have 7 pieces that are $25, and with any of the $25 pieces, you can get 4 of them for $80 plus shipping, or you can buy all 7. Obviously, that bundle deal only goes until somebody buys one of them, but if you want to buy all 7, which would normally be $175, you can get them for $130 plus shipping. So if you want to just have a little gift closet ready, or if you like jewelry for yourself, if you have a group of friends who want some fun jewels, we're going to look at the $25 ones, but all of these $25 pieces, they are buy 4 for $80 or buy all 7 for $130 plus shipping. I used to care about what people thought about me, not anymore. Yeah, I don't have time. Like, me caring about what somebody else thinks, it's like, okay, you random person over there, are you like feeding me, fucking me, or financing me? And if the answer is no, I don't care. I don't give a shit what you think. If we want to have some discussion and you want to be feeding me, fucking me, or financing me, then we'll talk about which of your opinions I'm going to pay attention to. Once one of those things, one or more. If it's a big opinion, if you really want to have an opinion, you better be doing all 3. You better be feeding, fucking, and financing me. Absolutely. It's just that I get weird gendered thoughts in my mind, and I wanted to talk to someone like you to see your view. That's why I was asking. No, that's all right. There's a lot of gender programming that goes on in our culture. And so depending on like what the thoughts are, just kind of like pay attention to like what are they about? Where does it seem like they come from? Is it that you're having things that go against kind of gender programming, but they feel very natural to you? That's something to listen to. Or are you feeling shame because you're wanting to do something that's maybe outside of typical gender programming? That's something to pay attention to as well. I mean, this whole persona was born out of the fact that I never got the gender rule book. Everybody else did it better than me as a kid. Like, everybody else knew what to do and what not to do, and I couldn't figure it out, and I was always in trouble, and I was always doing the wrong thing, and I was always picked on because I didn't know the right thing to do. And so, yeah, it's good to like have people to talk to about that. So absolutely, we love that. Why couldn't I feel like this when I was young? Yeah, Dawn, let me tell you, why couldn't I have had some of this when I was younger and thinner and my knees still worked? And like, why? I know, that's the trade-off. Youth and beauty come with stupidity. And even if you thought that you weren't young and beautiful, we were all young and beautiful. Like, that's the thing. We were all young and beautiful. And so whatever that looked like, whatever it was, like, we were all young and beautiful, and part of that comes with just a certain stupidity. It just is. And then as you lose that, it's like, oh, it's a trade-off. It's like a balancing thing. You got to balance it out. I hate that it took my late 40s to understand. Yeah, it's same here, 48. And I finally am at this place where I'm just like, so trolls who stop by, I'm just like, have the day you deserve. I hope you have a better day. Like, if this is what you do for fun, I cannot tell you how far it would be from my mind to go to a live stream for a stranger and say something hateful. Like, not because I'm a better person, not because I don't want to say snarky things, not because I don't have a razor sharp wit and could read somebody to filth, but it's like, I don't even have that in my brain because I recognize that I have limited time, and I'm not going to spend that time doing shit like that, right? Like, I'm going to spend it doing useful things that I enjoy, that bring me fulfillment. I've seen lots of drag queens on YouTube and femboys, which is quite cool. There's sometimes been better than straight heteros. Yeah, I like it. I'm glad that there's starting to be some of the different communities are starting to come together, because for a while there used to be a real divide between like drag queens and like the boys in makeup. That was like a whole little separate thing. And there was like the people on YouTube like Manny MUA. Not him so much. I'm using him as an example of like a boy in makeup, but there was a real divide of like the like boys in makeup who wanted to wear makeup, and they would wear like big stiletto heels and very feminine outfits, but they like wouldn't wear a wig and they wouldn't be in a show, but like they're basically doing drag, but they were real like nasty to drag queens. I'm glad that a lot of that is starting to like go away. I don't see that as much anymore. And I do have to say, for whatever people thought about it, I did appreciate that Manny MUA, when he did that Life's a Drag palette, he like called out the fact that like drag queens have been his inspiration, that they like absolutely were an entryway for him into makeup. So I appreciated that, because that was not the dominant view at the time. Like when he put out that Life's a Drag palette like 8-9 years ago, there was a real rift between like the boys in makeup and drag queens. So I appreciated that. Looking back at pics, so much time was wasted feeling bad about it. Yeah, can I tell you, I was cute when I was like 19, 20. I was like, I mean, I was never rail thin. I mean, as a kid, I was like a skinny kid, but then puberty hit and it was over for me. But like I wasn't like super heavy when I was like 18, 19, 20. My prime should have been fucking years like that. But I was all uptight. I had all this repression. And then like, and I felt so bad about myself that it was so hard to, I just was, and now I look back at pictures and I was just like, girl, you were kind of cute. Like you were a smoke show. What happened? Why didn't you just believe in yourself more? It's so terrible. Do you think there are more femboys or tomboys? I don't know. And I don't think it matters. I mean, I think that femboys and tomboys, it's a very different thing. I think that, and this is true not only of femboys and tomboys, but also of like drag queens and drag kings, trans men and trans women, is that the sort of crossing of gender boundaries is different when you are assigned male at birth and go towards a more feminine presentation versus when you go from assigned female at birth to a more masculine presentation. And that difference has absolutely to do with misogyny and sexism and white supremacy and how we view maleness versus femaleness. So I don't think that it matters whether there's more of one or the other. I think that they develop for different reasons. And so I think based on things that are happening in culture, you're going to see more of one or more of another at certain times. Because gender, I'm one of those dirty social constructionists. Like, there's not a lot of gendered stuff that we do that's natural. It's just not. We see the things and the activities and the presentations that are available in culture, and we are drawn to some or the other, but those are going to change over time. They're going to be different. And so I think that so much of it is constructed, and it's so ingrained in us that it doesn't always feel constructed. It doesn't feel like a choice, but it's always a choice to some degree. My doctor said perimenopause, and it was the moment I just didn't give a shit about idiots. Yeah, perimenopause. My friend Angie is going through that, and so she is not happy about it. Shout out to Angie if she ever watches this live. She won't watch this live. She barely watches the videos that we work on together, so she's certainly not going to watch this live. But if she does, shout out, girl. But yeah, we've talked about that a little bit, and yeah. Let's get back to some jewelry. I'm so lucky. My folks were very body positive before it was a thing. I never had body. Yeah, I don't feel like I got too much like weird body stuff. And like I said, when I was younger, I started to like get a little bit fuller, and I certainly grew up, and I'm a big frame person, but like I thought that I was fat. Like I thought in high school that I was like so fat. That was the thing. I mean, it was the late 90s. I grew up in the 80s when diet culture was like toxic as hell and everywhere. And so, of course, I thought I was too fat. And then, of course, I was a young adult when like America's Next Top Model was happening. So luckily that wasn't on when I was a kid. I was old enough that I was an adult. But then I was seeing all this stuff, and I would sit back. I mean, I was starting to critique it a little bit because I always thought it was a little wild that it took them till season 10 to have a plus size winner. And she was on the show, she was promoted as a size 10. And I think she even said that she's a size 6. I think she was on like a go-see or something. And I think one of the people told her, like, size 6 is not standard for our runway shows. And I was like, wait a minute, through the whole season, you've been telling us she's a size 10. And then she won, and she was the first plus model. And so even then I was like side-eyeing it a little bit, but I mean, all that kind of stuff is so harmful, all of that kind of stuff. So body positivity is so important. I got my first birthday present today. Super cute. Oh, happy early birthday. Or is today your birthday and you just got the first present today? Either way, happy birthday or happy late birthday. I don't know when it happened. But happy birthday. All that to say, happy birthday. So here is a seed bead pendant. So this is kind of a little oval, and we've got these white seed beads. It's April 19th, so it's early birthday. Happy early birthday. And then we've got these dyed quartzite. I wanted to do a little, like, kind of a subtle nod to pride. So if you don't want, like, the full... if you want something rainbow to wear to show pride, or maybe just like rainbows, this is a beautiful, these are dyed quartzite, and they have the rainbow colors, and we repeat that 3 different times. And so this is a beautiful, so this is a one of the $25 pieces. So these are the ones that are, they're $25 each, or 4 for $80 plus shipping, or buy all 7 for $130. So if you want, Mother's Day is coming up. Maybe you got a lot of mothers that you got to buy for, mothers and sisters and aunties and all that kind of stuff. Yes, everybody's wishing Joe a happy birthday. We love that. Now this is a beautiful yellow, like all these shades of yellow, this little ombre seed bead. And then we've got these beautiful, like, navy blue and champagne gold crackle glass, and then these like champagne gold, very shiny iridescent kind of rounds. All of these are glass beads. Now I did notice today, I need to go and check. I may have to repair this one. So if anybody's looking at this one, just know I may need a hot second to repair it, because I noticed that apparently there's one that's just, I don't know if I put it on like that and forgot to put the bead on it. But these are glass, so like one could have broken. But I feel like if it broke while I was like messing with it, I should have noticed. I should have noticed like, oh shit, the pieces fell off. And if it broke just like on its own, then the pieces should have been there when I went back to find it, and they never were. So I don't know why that is. So I may need to repair that. I need to see if I have another one. Or else I'll have to break this one off and then they can match or whatever. But so that one's a little bit odd. But this is another one of the $25 with the seed beads. Let me rearrange a couple things here. All right. Then we have, so if you are somebody who likes, like, you like statement jewelry, you like your jewelry to be like prominent, but you don't necessarily want a lot of color, or you want something that is going to match a lot of outfits, this is going to be a good option for you, because this is very neutral. But it is also statement. It has some shine to it. This is another one of these seed bead pendants. This is an ombre of light gray down to black. And then we just have these beautiful like gunmetal colored metallic, they've got this like metallic shine to them, these faceted crystals in 2 different sizes. And so I just thought that would be fun. So if you like black jewelry, now because this is like blacks and grays, this is going to match with so many different colors. You can wear this with so many different things. It's so versatile. So if you want a piece that's really going to match a lot for only $25 plus shipping, I mean, that's a good deal. So that is another one of those. And then we have one more seed bead. This is for my pink girlies. So again, if you like those traditional gender roles, if you like the pink, or maybe you're a femboy and you like some pink, you can have this as well. And this is just a beautiful like pink ombre, pink into like a peachy pink, kind of ombre seed bead pendant. And then we've got these faceted crystals, and then these faceted, these are like a glass bead that's also faceted and has kind of an iridescent coating, and we just alternate those. So again, so just some light, beautiful, beautiful pinks that I think are a lot of fun. So those are the 4 seed bead pendants. Now there are 3 other $25 pieces that are part of that bundle deal, so you could mix and match any of them as long as they're still available. So far none of them have sold, but this one is kind of a fun, quirky peach. Pretty pink. Yes, I love that light pink. I think it's so... The many talents of Janessa. Well, thank you, Joe. I've been making jewelry for a long time, and actually Angie, who is my partner in crime when we film like long form videos, when I'm not just doing it by myself with this janky webcam, Angie taught me to make jewelry. She's a fantastic artist and makes beautiful jewelry, and she taught me, and I have been making jewelry ever since. And yeah, I've been playing around. So this is a fun pendant that's got this little like, it's like two hinged pieces. It's like a little book. This is a little like light pink. I know it looks very pearly, kind of white, but it is like a pearly pink. And then just a wood piece. And then we've got this long gold chain. And these are quartzite that are dyed to look like garnets. And then we've got pink faceted crystal. And so we've got two sets as we go up the chain. Now this chain, this is repurposed vintage chain. Because a lot of times, like I showed off that tiger eye that I'm keeping for myself. So like when I bought this tiger eye pendant, this was on just like a gold chain. Like, so there's different, a lot of the pendants that I buy that are like from the 60s, 70s, some into the early 80s, a lot of times they just have like a gold bail on them, and then they're on some kind of gold chain. A lot of times I'll try to repurpose that chain into other designs so that I can use not only the pendant that I'm repurposing, but I can repurpose the chain. That's what we did with this. So this is actually repurposed chain from a couple of other pieces. And so we've got the like acrylic and wood, we've got the repurposed chain, we've got the dyed quartzite and the faceted crystal, more chain, another set of those beads, and then just a whole lot of chain. So this is a very long, this one is a very long piece. Like I said, I like long jewelry, and especially some of these with the like repurposed chain. I like it to just sort of have a moment where it can be like long and crazy. And sorry, I'm being white trash and I'm pulling my back scratcher. There we go. I was getting an itch. All right. Two more of the $25 pieces. And so here is, this is a fun one. I sometimes like to do this, where if a pendant is maybe like this could be a pendant on its own, right? Like this could be a pendant, but I like big, showy statement jewelry. So I'm like, what if we had 3 of those? And what if we did like a chain fringe and put them at different levels? And then we found beads. Excuse me. What if we found beads to match those? What if we found beads to match that? So that's what we did. So this is dyed quartzite that matches that beautiful turquoise fringe. And then we've got these faceted amethysts, and these have little faceted crystal little like spacers on either side, and we just alternate that. So it's a beautiful, like, it's got a lot of movement. If you like your jewelry to have a lot of movement, a lot of visual attention, this is a beautiful piece for that. And again, this is one of those $25 pieces. Did you make the necklace you have on? I did not make this one. I would like to get maybe like something that cuts acrylic, because I have so many of these acrylic necklaces. This is from somebody on Etsy called I'm Your Present. And a lot of I have a couple that I got from Angie. I don't know where she ordered them from, but I've been ordering from I'm Your Present and getting, like, these nameplate necklaces are so good for filming days. Sometimes I like to throw on more of like a traditional kind of jewelry, but I love these little like nameplate necklaces. And I have one that says Final Girl, and I have one that says Dumb Blonde. And I just think they're a lot of fun, especially for filming. So I did not make these, but I would think about getting like some sort of acrylic cutter to maybe do some of these. But said hi, those look really cool. Well, thank you, Bruni. I appreciate that. Turquoise and purple is my favorite besides the dinosaur. Yeah, I just love that. I love the way that that turned out. And this, to me, when people ask me, like, because the 90s, obviously, like with Nirvana and grunge and garage bands, that took over so much of the 90s. And we started getting very, like, instead of yellow, you had mustard. Instead of red, you had cranberry. Instead of green, you had teal. Instead of blue, you had navy. Excuse me, pretty girl. The early 90s were very different because we were starting to move away from the very like true neons. And instead we got a lot of things like this, where there was a lot of like gray mixed with brights that weren't your traditional neon. So you had like a bright royal purple or like this turquoise. So like this feels very early 90s to me, this color combination. I absolutely love it. Hello, Alex. How are you doing? Hello, welcome. So that is another one. The last one of the $25 pieces. This is a bold one. You have to like bold, big statement jewelry for this. I recognize this is not for everybody. I try to have, I always like statement pieces, and I try to have a range for everybody. But then there's ones that I know I'm like, this is not going to be for everyone. And that is this big old, look at this big circle with this red fringe. I think that is so fun. And then I just was like, let's make it big and bold and beautiful. So we have these like white faceted crystals and these metallic red faceted crystals. And then we have these beautiful like pave rhinestone beads. The beads are called dragon balls. I don't know why they call them dragon balls. I don't know where that comes from, but so these are like two little dragon balls with this rhinestone spacer in the middle. And then we just alternate that. And we've got these big like jump rings to also just give it a lot of like, there's a lot of metal, there's a lot of jewel, there's a lot of flash, there's a lot of sizzle. And it's another one that's fairly long. So this is one that if you like a big, bold statement piece for $25, this is great because these little rhinestone beads can be fairly expensive. I found a good deal on these. So I was like, you know what? This can be $25. This can be in our like more affordable line of the Champagne Dreams designs. But yeah, so that's the kind of new spring collection. Oh, I do have a couple more that I forgot. Sorry, a couple more. So we also have, if you are a sunflower fan, I know that sunflower is one of those motifs that I feel like people either love it and are obsessed with it, or they don't like it at all. And so if you love sunflowers, this is a beautiful sunflower enamel pendant, which I think is really, really beautiful. And then we have these yellow agates. So these are yellow agates with little tiger eyes on either side, which I think are just so pretty. And so this is like this is a very happy color. And this is a chance to get some yellow that's not citrine. I love citrine. Citrine is beautiful, but I love other yellow options that aren't just citrine, because you can get these slightly more like vibrant yellows than you can sometimes get with citrine, and pairing it with tiger eye and then having the like brown and the yellow gold, I just think is so beautiful. So this is another little piece. And then we got one more from the like spring collection that I put together. Now I do have some other inventory. We're not going to go into all of the, I have some other inventory. I need to add that to the website, and we don't need to do that because we've already been here for an hour and 20 minutes. And so we'll do love sunflower. Yes, Joe and Alex both love sunflowers. I love that. Now here's another beautiful stone piece. This is a beautiful agate slice. Look at how gorgeous that is. And it's got the crystal formation, the like druzy on the bottom with the beautiful banded agate. And then we've got some aventurine, and we've got some reconstituted malachite. So this is real malachite, but it is reconstituted. So what they do is like when they're creating things with malachite, they'll take all of the like chips and things that come off while they're making the one thing, and they will reconstitute it and put it into a bead. So this is real malachite, but it isn't in its natural form. It was broken apart and then put back together. You can usually tell, I don't have any real malachite. I shouldn't say real malachite. See, I even do that. I don't have any like natural malachite to show you, but basically because malachite has these beautiful like bands and circles and things. And when you see it next to natural malachite, it's easier to tell. But basically, reconstituted malachite, usually the circles, it's a little bit too symmetrical because malachite has lots of bubbles and swirls and turns. And sometimes it comes out and it's beautiful bands and it's all perfect. But if you've got a whole bunch of beads and all of the bands are very symmetrical, that's probably going to be reconstituted malachite, because they do put it together trying to create that like banding. Because sometimes you'll get a natural piece of malachite and there'll be just like a bubble where it's like a solid green and then like maybe some bands around it. But so with this, because they're trying to get that malachite look and they're trying to get the like best malachite look that people are looking for, which is the bands and the difference in color and the variation, when they reconstitute it, they try a little too hard to make it have the like banding and everything, and so it becomes a little bit too symmetrical. So that's how you can sometimes tell those. So this is, I mean, I love green. This is another one that almost ended up in my collection. Who knows, if it doesn't sell, maybe it will, because I do love green as well. But I was like, you're already taking the tiger eye. You don't need to also take the agate slice. And like I said, I do have a few other pieces from older collections that are that are still available. Should I show you one or two of those? Should I show you one or two? I know I'm not going to go through all of them because I am getting tired and I do want to film some TikToks and then go home because I've got some meat defrosting. I'm going to make myself a steak when I get home and I'm going to have ice cream. But let me show you some of my favorites. Now, this is from a collection that I made, and I had mentioned this on my Facebook Live as well, so Mama Champagne, you're going to hear this again. But whenever I make a collection of jewelry, now, obviously, I love all of the things that I make. Like, I think they're all cute, right? But I know, I just know that, like, everything isn't for everyone. So there's going to be some pieces that are, like, more popular, some that are going to be less popular. I think everything has its, like, forever home that it could find. Somebody's going to love it somewhere. But there's always, like, pieces, and I find this so interesting because as I'll be going, I'll be working on a piece and I'll be like, this is going to sell immediately. I'll be like, this is going to sell immediately. And that's the one that hangs around forever and doesn't sell. And then there will be something where I'm like, oh, that's so quirky. I was like, I think that's beautiful, but I think that's going to hang around for a while. I think that's not going to sell right away. I'm going to have to really work to find the right person. And that'll be the first piece that goes in the collection. The first one. So it's a weird sort of dichotomy where a lot of times I know some of the trends. Like amethyst always does really well, rose quartz always does really well, tiger eye always does really well, and I love working with those stones. So those are like predictable ones. Those usually do really well. This is one that I thought was going to be the first one to go. I made this collection called Secret Keepers, and it was all like all the pendants and the pieces had like keys or locks or excuse me, so froggy today, or like lockets where like something would be hidden away inside a locket. So I did this whole collection that was called Secret Keepers. I was like, this one's going to be the first to go. This one's going to be the first to go. I still have it. I still have it. And this is, and maybe I just loved it because it's green. Again, it's got some greens to it, but it's slightly different. And it's this beautiful, like, AB rhinestone lock pendant, which I think is so cute. And then we've got these green pearls, these, like, glass pearls. And then this is, like, a faceted crystal that's kind of a lemon yellow. And it's got, like, a side that's kind of polished matte. Like, it's got kind of a matte finish, and then the sides are clear and have like an iridescent, and then this is just like a semi-opaque like glass bead, and it's got these rhinestone spacers. And then as we go up, there's the little key that matches the lock. I just thought that this was going to be the first to go. There's something about this that I thought was so pretty. If I had a drag dress that like matched this perfectly, I would just keep it, because I keep hoping that this is going to find its forever home, because I just think it's beautiful. I just think it's really fun. And I love the lock and key, and like, it's not a working lock. Obviously you can see right through it, but it does, like, this little key came with this, and you can put the little key into the lock. I just think that's so cute. I just think it's adorable. I cannot believe that this has not found its forever home yet. I don't get it. I don't get it. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I just love this. And it's not even like my favorite kind of green. So green like sways me a little bit, but like this isn't my favorite green. This is like a spring green. I love like emerald green. So I think I just love it because it's beautiful. And I don't know why. I don't know why nobody has, like, snatched it up. Let's show another one. And this is, again, for me, like, when I label things, I really want to be as transparent as possible. So this is a pendant that I got from an antique store. So I bought this, like, collection of jewelry from an antique store. You know, if you've gone to antique stores, you know that sometimes they'll just take a bunch of jewelry and put it in like a mason jar, and you get like a deal on buying the whole thing. That's where I got this pendant from. Now, this looks like amber. I cannot say for sure. It was like I said, it was just in this jar, and it just was like assorted jewelry. So it wasn't labeled as anything. Excuse me, pretty girl. There's something about the stuff that's inside that to me it looks like a simulated amber. I don't believe that this is real amber, but I don't know that for sure. So I just want to make sure that like whenever I'm selling stuff, I try to be as clear as possible. So for this one, usually I can kind of figure it out, or I'll be really confident. Like there's sometimes stones that I'll see that they weren't labeled as like color treated, but I'll be like, that's color treated. So let me show you an example of that. So like, for example, on that blue piece that we looked at earlier with the lapis pendant. So these little tiger eyes, blue tiger eye does exist in the world. Like blue tiger eye is a thing. But for blue tiger eye to be that vivid, like that blue, I believe these are color treated. Now, when I purchased these, they did not say color treated. They just said blue tiger eye. So they absolutely could be just regular tiger eye. Maybe they found a vein of it that for whatever reason is just so like extra vibrant and extra blue. But I always try to tell people, like, I'm not trying to get one over on you. I'm trying to make sure that you know, to the best of my knowledge, I'm going to tell you what this is. So that's important for this one because I don't know if this is real amber. I think that it looks like it could be real amber, but I think it looks like it's more likely imitation amber. I think that it's simulated amber. And then we've got these little dyed jade. Jade is something that's like often there's certain kinds of jade that are like super inexpensive. And so then like places will dye jade so that you can use them just for like different colors. So this is like yellow and orange dyed jade. And I just thought this was so like 70s. It's like a lava lamp. I just think it's so fun. And I just love this amber pendant. But again, I can't guarantee that it's a real amber. I don't really know. I don't know for sure. What's my favorite dance? What is my favorite dance? Hello, Zweed. How are you doing? I don't know if I have a favorite dance. I used to like a little two-step. I mean, I come from the country. So, like, we used to two-step. If you grew up in North Dakota, especially in the 80s and in the 90s, and you didn't learn to two-step, like, what were you doing with your life? Like, there were too many, like, barn dances and hoedowns and like street dances and things. You just had to know. You just had, because that's what you were going to get. You were going to get country music, and you better know how to two-step. You're going to go to so many weddings, and unless you want to just sit at a table talking to like drunk people that you don't even like, you better be ready. You better be ready to two-step. You just better. So that is another one that's in my current inventory. Like I said, these are not listed on the website yet. Oh, let me show this one. I think this one's a fun one too. This is another one that I thought would maybe go right away. This was in my last collection that I did. And this is just kind of a fun, again, if you like a lot of movement, and if you like a hoedowns, if you like a statement piece, but you don't necessarily want a lot of color, this is a beautiful carved shell pendant that's carved in this beautiful floral motif, and it's got this pave rhinestone at the top, which I think is so gorgeous. And then I just used a bunch of faceted crystal, but we added these little like monstera leaf side pendants so that as you're going up, so like when you wear it, let me put this, I've got a little display neck. I don't put a lot of stuff on this display neck to show it because it seems to throw off the color, but let me just show you how this then lays. Look at how pretty that is with the little like side pendants. Gorgeous, gorgeous. How fun is that? And then when you move, you get much more like movement, and like there's just that visual interest. And so as you move around, like things are going to move, you're going to get a little bit of shine, you're going to get those glints of light. And I just really love that. I think that's a lot of fun. So that's another piece. Should I show one more? We'll show one more. One more. Do you want the bee locket or do you want lime green? I'll give you a choice. Do you want the bee locket or do you want lime green? The first person to answer is who we'll go with. First person to answer, bee locket or lime green. What do we want? The bee. All right, Joe. So this is another one for my people who like statement jewelry but don't always want a ton of color. This is going to be something that matches a lot of things. Hello, Umar. Omer? Under over? I don't know what's going on. So this is a silver tone bee, It is technically a locket. Now you could put a picture in here. It's got little magnetized doors. Now it's a little bit shallower than your typical locket. You can see it's a very thin little locket, but you could put a picture in here, or you could just have the beautiful like bee sort of look. What are you? Oh, I think you mean who am I? Or the tiny fish. What? Dawn, what? I think you meant who am I? I am Janessa J. Champagne, and I am North Dakota's trash queen of glam, geek, and gore. And we are talking about some handmade jewelry that I have put together. So this is a fun, like, little bee pendant, a little bee locket. It's got a faux pearl, and it's got a little faux pearl down here. And then we've got some faceted crystal, and then we've got these freshwater pearls. Now these, I went on a work trip almost 10 years ago now. I think it's close to 10 years, where I went to the Philippines, and you can get really like inexpensive pearls there. I bought pearls for gifts for everybody. I've got like 5 sets of pearls that I wear for myself. So I brought it to, and I did bring a few things back that I could take apart so I could use the pearls for jewelry projects. So these are kind of dark color treated pearls, and then these kind of white potato pearls. These are all from my trip to the Philippines. And so we've got faceted crystal and then pearls that kind of alternate. This is another fairly long one. So this is a beautiful, beautiful little bee piece. So I thought that would be fun. So that's another one. So these other ones I have to get photographed, and I'll have to put them up on the website so that they are available as well. Talking about spirits in this house, the dog sees something. A tiny fish? Dawn, we're still so confused. What is the tiny fish? Thankfully, it was rated G. What is the tiny fish, Dawn? I can't. What is the tiny fish? I have to know. Dawn, what are you doing to me? I have to know what the tiny fish is. Oh, the dog sees something. They see a tiny fish? A tiny fish died last time. I buried it. Oh, so is it the spirit of the tiny fish is like haunting the dog? You have a weird journey that you're on right now, Dawn, but I love that for you. I love that for you. It's keeping your dog sitting adventure very, very eventful. So I appreciate that. Yeah, so that is what I'm going to show you. Okay, I'll give you a little peek at the lime green. I know I said I was going to do one or the other, but look at that. This is a vintage repurposed shell, like a carved shell pendant that's dyed this beautiful lime green. And then we've got aventurine and some, I think that's dyed jade. And then these little beads are also vintage. I think they're like a wood that's got like an enamel coating, and they've got almost like a cat's eye effect when they move. This is lime green. So I think it's beautiful. I couldn't not show the green. I thought people would go for B, because I thought B is more likely. I'm the only one who's obsessed with green. So I was like, well, I have to show you green anyway. Peaceful sleepy juju your way. Yes, I love that. You won't be sleeping tonight. If it's just a tiny fish, take control, Dawn. You shut that ghost down. You'd be like, listen, bitch, I gotta sleep. I got a lot to do tomorrow, and I'm gonna need you to leave me alone. So just ghost swim over that direction. Go hang out with the dog, whatever it is. Like, just go away. You tell him who's boss, Dawn. You tell him. Oh, yes. So that is our little jewelry party. So I hope you enjoyed. We don't have to go. It's like an hour and 36 minutes. I usually like to cut these off at about 2 hours or before. So what time are we at? Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 9:54 p.m.
9:54. It's 10 o'clock. It's time for me to be done. Yeah, so I think we're going to go so I can film a few TikToks, and then I don't know if I'm going to be able to con Angie into driving me now. I think it's a little bit too late. I think it's a little too late, which is sad. But yeah, so that's, but we're having a good time. I like the way this look came out. I'm excited. This doll has been like staring at me accusingly, because we filmed the intro where I opened this doll and revealed the color a long time ago, because I was like, I'll just film the intro, and then whenever I find a palette that seems to fit this, we'll do the video. And now I finally got around to doing this doll, Get Ratchet With Me. So this will be upcoming to the channel. And she smells like strawberries. I love that. So this is, I'm definitely going to have to do more. Maybe we'll do that on a live makeup play day. I have a bunch of color reveal Barbies just like in my closet ready for whenever I want to do this again. Because I just think it's fun. I've done this a couple times on my channel. And so, yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty excited about this. I think this is a fun little representation of our strawberry Barbie. Yes, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm glad you found me as well. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. Let's see if I remember my intro. Not my intro. It's the outro. See, I'm having a day. I'm having a day. She's tired. She's ready to go home and air fry some meat. But let's see if I remember my outro. Don't forget, I would love it if you would circle back and leave a comment. Help me feed the algorithm. Help me feed the beast. I would really appreciate that. While you are down there, don't forget that you can give me that thumbs up to tell me that you appreciated the live. Or if you are like, girl, you are a mess. Why are you on here hawking jewelry like you're Suzanne Summers on QVC? Like, this is not the Home Shopping Network. Give me that thumbs down. It is all engagement. The algorithm isn't a picky bitch, and neither am I. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, become part of the family, and hit that bell icon so you'll be notified of all future uploads. I try really hard to make sure I have at least one video or live per week, and sometimes, if you're lucky, if you're very lucky, you might even get a bonus video. Ooh, jewelry-tastic. If you'd like to chat, banter, or commiserate between uploads and lives, then go ahead and check out my social media, all linked down in the description box below, including a link to my website, just pretend it's there, The World of Champagne at JanessaJ.com. Can I tell you that now I'm so out of practice with filming regular videos that when I'm filming a regular video and I do The World of Champagne at JanessaJ.com, before I do it, I almost say, just pretend it's there, except because it's a filmed video, it's going to actually be there. But I'm so out of practice that I just got so used to saying, like, just pretend it's there, The World of Champagne at JanessaJ.com. Yes. So let's see if I missed anything. Thanks for the fun video. Yes, you're welcome, Alex. Thank you, thank you. Joe, thanks for being here. Everybody have a good night, especially Dawn with her haunted tiny fish house that she's staying in. Sleep well. Sweet dreams, everybody. And yeah, if anybody would like to purchase, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, if you want to purchase any of these beautiful jewelry designs, just hit me up on my socials and we'll work it out. We'll get it sent off to you. And yeah, and until I see you again, bye. All right, the awkward shutting down. Then we're going to film some TikTok.